Torek Farhadi is the advisor to the Afghan government, and he joins us now live from Geneva. Hi there. Thanks for speaking to us. You know, up to 5,000 Taliban prisoners were agreed to be released through that U.S. peace deal. But now, do you think Afghan authorities might consider releasing more because of the coronavirus? And how dangerous could that be?
Well, first of all, my former advisor, it is not known what the Afghan government will decide. But what is clear is that these people have a lot of blood on their hands. They have committed despicable acts. But under the Third Geneva Convention of 1949, called GC3, they have rights to be afforded to them, which is to keep them in good health. So they are not war prisoners because they were not part of an army, but they are militias. And even militias have rights after the GC3, the Third Geneva Convention of 1949, which most countries are signatories. So now, developed countries are having trouble keeping people healthy right now. In Afghanistan, where in Western Afghanistan, 37 coronavirus patients have escaped the hospital. Maybe they didn't have confidence in the health delivery system. They have escaped the hospital. How can you imagine that the government can guarantee that this epidemic is not going to reach inside the prisons, where the Taliban or others are and the security guards are? So this question applies to everybody. If there is a clear and present danger of being reached by this pandemic, which also includes the security guards in that prison, and also the prisoners that are with the Taliban, basically everything has to be reviewed. Now, the government, this is the only bargaining chip for the government. They don't want to give it up, but in the end, because it's a fragile state and the health situation is not really up to par in most of South Asia, but especially in Afghanistan, which comes of a civil war, the government might not be able to guarantee that they can keep these people out of this pandemic. They can't even keep people out of the pandemic.
And you have
so they might have.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be questioned whether or not they should make, I guess, prisoners any sort of priority here when the entire population is so much at risk. I mean, Afghanistan does not have the strongest health and social infrastructure. The general population itself is at tremendous risk, especially on the border with Iran. How is the country ready to cope at all with the most severe consequences of this pandemic?
Not at all. No country is ready to deal with coronavirus, even in the Western world, especially not Afghanistan, where 50,000 people have just returned from Iran because the Iranians pushed them back to Afghanistan. They go back home. Some of these people are infected. A few of them are in hospitals. And that's the situation. It's an unfortunate situation.
Okay, Torek Farhadi, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us from Kabul, or from Geneva, rather. We greatly appreciate it.